to the Batmobile. Let's go.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
How's it going, basement dwellers? Basement Boy Banter, episode 35, as I look down on my cheat sheet. Up and running, coming at you. Thor, Brian, let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. You know what we do, and if you don't, watch another episode, we'll tell you. So, all right, let's get right into it, though. This week was a busy week. A lot going on. There was a lot of stuff. So, first thing on the docket, Samurai Jack. Looks like it's coming back after a little hiatus. I don't know, it's been what?
Forever.
It's been a long time since Samurai Jack's been on the air, but it's coming back 2016. I don't know exactly the date or anything like that, but most of the original people are coming back to do voices and all that sort of stuff. A couple of people aren't, but it's good news. I mean, for any Samurai Jack fans, I'm sure they're excited.
Oh, it was like the best news of my week.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, like I told you earlier, the only thing that keeps me from being like schoolgirl excited about this is that Mako is not going to be Aku, and he's like half the fun of the show is just his ridiculousness. So, and I mean, that's not to say someone couldn't do a good enough job,
right?
But it's kind of like, I don't know, any sort of main staple person who does the voice of someone, you switch him out. He's so well known and he took that character very far that it's going to be tough to kind of
to replace. Yeah, right. It will be. Well, if you don't know what Samurai Jack is, which I'm shocked if you're watching this show and don't. Samurai Jack was a show that was on Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. Was it on Adult Swim?
It didn't start on
Adult Swim.
No,
it didn't start because it was on like regular, like during the
Then they added it to the rebooted Toonami every once in a while.
Yeah. So it's I mean, it came out around the time of like Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, all right around the same time as that.
Right.
But you can check it out. It's a great show. It's definitely worth watching. I'm excited to see it come back. It wasn't my biggest news of the week for me per se. Maybe there was a little trailer that may trump that for this guy, but it was definitely good to hear. So, but let's move on from there. We got some other things. So, where do I want to go? I don't really know. Let's talk about. Let's just bundle all the Star Wars stuff into one thing.
Yeah.
For once. I mean, we'll bundle it all together. So we got 2,500 actors have been seen for the new Han Solo film because he's a younger Han Solo. We got like James Franco, Logan Lerman, dude from Fault in Our Stars. There's been a bunch of people who have come through. Percy Jackson, I think I already said him, but like there's been a bunch of actors who have tried. Miles Teller's another one. We got Carrie Fisher was on Good Morning America. It was hilarious. We got Kylo Ren. There were some new pictures put out by Rolling Stone. One of them was Kylo Ren sitting in the room with the Darth Vader helmet. So Kylo Ren definitely has his helmet. That's probably the biggest one for me. And then Rebels got renewed for season 3. We'll wrap that in with it. And also on Twitter, they were doing like a question and answer thing. And Harrison Ford was asked what's his favorite scene in the movie. And he said it's the sword fight between Rey and Kylo Ren. So you grab something out of that grab bag and go with it. And then I'll go on something.
I mean, there's a lot there.
There is.
I like any news that is related to the Darth Vader fan club that they're sort of setting up.
You mean the Kylo Ren's the leader of?
Yeah, I love that, honestly, about the Star Wars universe that they're adding, basically, because it makes sense that such a powerful Sith Lord, I mean, and how many people know that he betrayed the Sith and, through the Emperor? They don't.
Right.
As far as 90% of the Empire knows, Vader was loyal to the end.
Well, yeah, who knows what Kylo Ren knows, depending upon his lineage and stuff like that. I mean, that's probably the biggest things in here for me are definitely the Kylo Ren with the Darth Vader helmet. And then the Twitter thing where there could there be a lightsaber duel between Daisy Ridley's Rey and Kylo Ren? Who knows? I mean,
Han Solo likes to.
It was on Star Wars
or
Twitter
I should
feed,
say-
so like it was through Harrison Ford who said it. So I mean, I don't know. It could be some misdirect. It could not. It could be them having fun on Twitter. You don't know. I mean, we got 11 days before The Force Awakens comes out. 11 days, and yes, this is a brand new Star Wars sweatshirt that you're seeing. The LRG collection. It's. I mean, if you want some Star Wars stuff, LRG.com Star Wars collection. I'll show you guys a piece every week until Force Awakens comes out. I got a few of them. So I got one for next week, and then I got my premiere gear too. So just something to look forward to. But the Kylo Ren Darth Vader helmet thing, Rebels Season 3 being renewed, that's not a big like shocker realistically, but I'm really happy because that show's been going strong. We'll recap the latest episode towards the end of the show. That's great news because that's a great show. With Rogue One coming out next year, they run in the same timeline.
Right. So
who knows? There could be some Rebels characters in Rogue One, some Rogue One characters in Rebels. We're not sure yet. So I'm excited for that. The Carrie Fisher on Good Morning America. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's hilarious. It is really one of the funniest things that I watched all week. 2,500 actors, though, for Han Solo. What I like about that is they're seeing everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they are looking at every single person. Because this is a huge role in... There's a lot of pressure behind it. And you got to have someone that can do the character justice. You know, can be a Han Solo. And maybe in multiple films.
And the start of Han Solo, you know, the start of Harrison Ford is sort of a good... You really want to look at a lot of people for this character because... the person who got the role was not someone that was a big name before.
At the time, yeah.
Right. He just fit it well. So I think it's a good idea to kind of follow that same sort of pattern and go, maybe this character needs to be played by someone who's less Hollywood and more
And I don't love
rough.
all the names that I'd rattled off there. And that's just some. I mean, out of the 2,500, I picked, 4 or 5. The only one out of the batch that we've been talking about are the kid from The Fault in Our Stars.
Soon to be Fault in Our Star Wars.
Right. Nice. Good one. I like him. I think I could see him as Han Solo, as the young Han Solo, but we'll see. I mean, once it's cast, we'll talk about him in much more detail. But that's what's going on with Star Wars. We're right coming up on The Force Awakens, so I mean that, you know, and we'll have a review for that for sure. We're definitely going to review it. I don't know all the details yet, but we'll let you know when we know. Black Panther and Spider-Man's role in Civil War. So real quick, let's cover this. So the trailer came out last week, the Civil War trailer. We saw Black Panther. We didn't see Spider-Man. Now, there's been some interviews and magazine articles and stuff talking about some of their roles. Black Panther's role seems to be he plays the Spider-Man role from the comic book. So where he's in between, kind of looking at it from the outside, hasn't picked a side yet, you know, is looking at it from, you know, an outsider's point of view. Spider-Man's more going to be on the peripheral, I think, of the story. Like, he's around, he exists, he'll cameo, but he's not going to be intricate to the storyline, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what do you think on those? You think you like how they're using Black Panther in place of Spider-Man and using Spider-Man more as a support character? Or would you
honestly,
rather see- yeah?
I think now Spider-Man. We all, if you've watched any talk of my opinion on Spider-Man, you know I'm not a huge fan. So maybe my opinion's a little biased, but I think it's better to get someone who's not quite as known because in the comic book universe, a lot of, you know, Black Panther's well known. But when we're talking movies and to your general audiences, Black Panther's not quite as known.
No, if I ask my parents who's Black Panther, they'll be like, I don't know, you mean from the 60s?
Right,
the dudes on the civil rights? When I say who's Spider-Man, you know, Peter Parker, you know, the dude in the red
So
suit.
I think it's good to kind of give this more important role to someone who you want to bring forward rather than someone who has had his story told a million times. Just because it's like, you know, give Black Panther some meat to his role in this movie. Yeah, he doesn't, I mean, it's a Captain America movie. You got to keep it Captain America. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you can't have an important role for...
Well, this is his introduction to his own movie. And he's probably going to be, you know, an important part going forward into Phase 4 and Infinity War and stuff like that. Wakanda, the vibranium, it's all going to, I think, play a part in the, the storyline, in the through lines going through. So, I mean, I like it. I like that they're using Black Panther. I'm cool on not seeing as much Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We'll get his standalone movie. There's rumors that we might get Captain America and Iron Man cameo in the Spider-Man movie. Because when they were on Kimmel for the trailer last week, they had mentioned that they're going to shoot something in Atlanta, and the only thing shooting right now is the Spider-Man movie, and then they start shooting Infinity War Part 1. Well, they shoot Infinity War 1 and 2 back to back. It's a 9-month shoot, but they're shooting those after they're done with the Spider-Man movie, because it's Spider-Man or Captain America comes out next, then it's Doctor Strange, then it's, I think, Spider-Man, then Thor Ragnarok, then Infinity War Part 1.
Is Black Panther in this set or the next?
He's after, I want to say he's after Infinity War Part 1.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that. I don't have the schedule memorized that deeply. I just know the next two. I know Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange. Then after that, it gets a little cloudy for me. Because I could go Black Panther, then Thor Ragnarok. But I know Spider-Man's in there. But it could be Spider-Man, Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok all in the same year. Like I said, I'm grasping at straws right now. So I'll let you know when I look at the schedule next week, because I really wasn't thinking about it. Real quick, The Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, the new Frank Miller with a bunch of other people comic came out. It's like $6 for the first issue. It's like 14 pages, so I'm not paying that. And I'll pick it up maybe in a few months when it's a trade paperback, and we'll talk about the whole story. I haven't heard great things from the reviews I've read. I've heard it's too expensive. I heard it's not that gorgeous. There's just been, I don't know, whatever. It's out there, though. Go to your local comic book shop, check it out. Maybe you want to buy it. Maybe you don't. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. Real quick, also, Cyborg Movie. So there's a rumor, and this is a huge rumor, so do not take this as this is what I'm saying is going to happen. But there's a rumor going around that they're going to take the Cyborg movie that's supposed to come out in 2020, the DC Cinematic Universe one. They're going to make it a Teen Titans movie. Which begs the question is, what's been going on with the TNT Titans show? And if Warner, because that would make sense. We haven't heard anything about the TNT Titans show in a while. And then now all of a sudden they're thinking about taking that Cyborg movie and making it a Teen Titans. And we already know we got the animated movie coming out later next year, Justice League versus Teen Titans. Right. We got the next one is the Batman Bad Blood, which we'll be picking up and reviewing once it comes out. And then we got I think Killing Joke, and then Justice League versus Teen Titans. So DC wants to utilize the Teen Titans. They're doing, Batman vs Superman, then they're doing the Justice League. We got Suicide Squad coming. They kind of like doing the team-up movies first, and then maybe seeing what works from those before you do individual movies, which I like. It's a smart idea for them. It's reverse engineering what what Marvel did. Marvel did all standalones to the Avengers. Okay, well, you get Batman and Superman out of the way, introduce Wonder Woman, a couple other characters, just do 2 movies, just do your Batman, your Superman, or your Batman Superman movie and Man of Steel, and then you do boom Justice League. Well, then Wonder Woman will come out and then Justice League, but I like how they're doing that.
Right? Yeah. No,
so
I
it
agree.
makes sense. But what do you think? You think of it? Would you be mad if they made the Cyborg movie a Teen Titans movie? Happy or indifferent?
I like Cyborg. He's a good character,
and he is going to be in Batman vs Superman. The actor that they got to be him is going to cameo in BVS. So
right. Well, and he definitely deserves his own movie just from the character, in my opinion. I like his character in general, and I think his character is really relatable. But at the same time, I think it's smart to consider how big Teen Titans is for them financially.
Well, the only thing that's got me about this one is I like Cyborg from like Justice League War, Justice League Throne of Atlantis, where he's an intricate part of the Justice League. Right. And in the New 52, he isn't he's part of the original 7. So I thought in making him part of the slate that he would be part of the 7. You know what I mean? But now I don't know. Now are they going to make him a Justice League member, or is he going to be a Teen Titan? So it kind of makes honestly, it kind of makes it an in between point. Plus, we don't know if we have a Robin, where a Robin is. Do we have a Nightwing? Who are we? I just don't. I'm worried that they're going to bring in too many
Batman
characters.
versus Superman will probably clear up a lot.
Oh, it will for sure. And once in March after we see that movie, I'll be able to speak much more to this than I can right now. But we'll go into BVS trailer here next. One other thing besides this, they've been talking about the Green Lantern Corps movie again.
Yeah,
we're talking Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart are the names I'm hearing. It's going to be buddy cop. Think Lethal Weapon in space.
I think that's
a good idea.
Smart.
I think that's a wise move on their part. So now you have 2 Green Lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
You can introduce one in Justice League, one in that standalone movie, and then maybe in Justice League you talk about the other one and he's off doing something, and then you tell that. So I like that aspect of it. The Teen Titans thing, I'm ask me again after BVS, and I'll tell you. So, but let's go right into that biggest thing of the week that happened in my world, your world. Everybody but his world, I guess, because of the Samurai Jack thing. The Batman vs. Superman trailer came out on Jimmy Kimmel December 2nd, which was Wednesday night. Mm-hmm. They premiered the trailer. Affleck was on there. They did or Affleck or whatever, because Affleck's the company.
Yeah.
I caught myself afterwards. But he was on there. They did a little skit, and then they showed the trailer. The skit, who cares? The trailer... I'm going to hold off. You go first. You watched the trailer just now. You didn't see it. Mm-hmm. You had read about it, but didn't watch it until just tonight. You saw it. What'd you think?
Well, before I saw the full trailer, I did see that little teaser with...
the snippet. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. The day before they dropped the trailer, they dropped a 30-second clip, like preview for the trailer, and it was Batman or Superman had Batman in that cave with those dudes, rip the mask off. I've heard it's a dream sequence, but no confirmation on that. So you saw that, then you saw the full trailer. Go on the full trailer.
The full trailer, I honestly really liked. I think it included a lot of the elements we kind of needed to see. And I liked sort of, because the first trailer we saw was more superheroes, whereas this one...
It was darker, I think.
Well, no, I mean, like, it featured the superheroes a lot more, whereas this one, I think it was kind of neat, because they showed... At least in the very beginning. Later, they kind of transitioned a little bit more. But in the very beginning, it was Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. And I think that's the best. Batman and Superman, before they become friends or whatever you want to call their relationship, I think they're the best when they're both in their alter egos.
Yeah.
When Batman is Bruce Wayne and
Superman's Clark Kent.
Because, they throw this banter back and forth like, oh, what do you think of this thing? And it's like,
no, that conversation at the dinner party, that was definitely one of the strong suits about it. So do you think they showed too much?
Honestly, no. I mean, they showed the one thing I think they showed too much of was at the very end, I guess... Is there spoilers on trailers?
No, you can't spoil a trailer.
Okay.
It's out there.
I'm just making sure. If you haven't watched the trailer and plan on not watching it, just because you want to, whatever. But they had the body of Zod and
they've showed that before.
And what we assumed is some sort of Frankenstein Zod monster.
It's Doomsday. Okay. This is where I will interject. So the trailer, the movie. I don't know about the movie. The trailer had good parts. It had a lot of good parts. It had some mediocre stuff. It had some really bad stuff. It had some stuff that made me nervous. And I, for one, felt that they didn't need to show one particular thing. So let me start off with the good. Like he said, the part in the beginning where they're talking, that's great stuff. Let's get to the bad. Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg was exactly what I feared in Lex Luthor, is that he is playing He's not playing Lex Luthor. He's playing something else. He's playing a different character. He's playing Lex Luthor doesn't talk like Jesse Eisenberg, like hipster, like, hey, like, ooh, don't fight this guy. He's like, never fight this guy in a dark alley or whatever he said. I hated that. Some of the other stuff was fine. They built on the story. Didn't show Aquaman. You got a little bit of Wonder Woman. They had one little joke, which I think worked. Is she with you? I thought she was with you. That's fine because everyone's like, DC is so serious. I get why they put that in the trailer to show that there is levity. The Doomsday part. I did not need to see that. They did not need to show that. Like, I don't care. You could have shown the blast part. You could have shown her. You could have taken out Doomsday and just showing the blast and her, and then had that line, and I think it would have been a better trailer.
Honestly, they could have cut
Lex
right.
out.
Well, I disagree on the Lex, but they could have cut right when they showed Zod's body and cut right to the explosion with
instead of showing the electricity and then showing Doomsday come out, because that's Doomsday. You see the bones; they're not long like they are, which hopefully that's not. And there's been a lot of jokes that he looks like Abomination from the Incredible Hulk movie. That he looks like
That's exactly what I thought.
He looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Not quite that, but definitely,
there's a bunch of them.
The Hulk
there's
thing.
A bunch
Oh
of them.
my
So,
god, yeah.
That I thought they gave away too much. The bad was the Jesse Eisenberg. That was ruining it for me. Every time he was on screen talking, I was losing interest.
Can I disagree with you real quick?
Yep, in 1 second. And then the good was I liked the end, showing the three of them together. The one-liner about who's she with, that was great. Everything else in that was perfect. It was like a 2 minute and 20-second trailer. 2 minutes of it, I love. 21 seconds, I hate it. So, okay, tell me why I'm wrong on Jesse Eisenberg.
Well, I don't want to say you're wrong, because it's, first off, my opinion.
Right.
And second off, I think it's purposeful. I think, now, hear me out. So, what are Superman and Batman during that scene?
During what scene?
In
their alter egos. Right.
So what can you imply that Lex Luthor is right now?
An alter ego.
So he is being Jesse Eisenberg because everyone perceives him as this Jesse Eisenberg person.
When he's with Lois Lane on the building and she goes, "You're like a maniac" or whatever, they're not at the party. And he's still acting the same way as
not
Lex Luthor.
Quite as much. He's not being goofy and hipstery. He's being it's the transition.
Those are the three words that people have little minds or something like you know I don't know.
I think he's honestly, especially when I think that's like the moment where he like transforms from goofy hipster into.
So you think it's the way he was acting at the party is his alter ego. When he's behind closed doors, he's going to be more of that powerful like Lex Luthor that we want. I
won't say he's going to be necessarily that Lex Luthor, because we were expecting like a stone cold hard Lex Luthor, but I think he's going to be way more that.
See, I can even forgive the hair. Like the stupid hair thing, I can totally forgive. He'll probably lose it or it's a wig. That I don't even give a crap about. Mm-hmm. What bothers me is just his mannerisms, how he's admitted to not doing any research onto who Lex Luthor is. He just gave them what he thought they wanted from the script. Like he doesn't care about the source material. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like he's even said before, like what did he equate Comic-Con to? Like the Holocaust or something like that? Like the whole time, every time he opens his mouth about this movie or like about just nerds in general, it almost like he's talking like he's so above us because he's a hipster and he's just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's just something about him I dislike.
Guy doesn't need to be good to make a good performance.
No, and he doesn't. You're right. There are plenty of actors who are D-bags and who bring it, and I love. But this dude, there's just something about the way he's trying to portray Lex Luthor. And I can take different incarnations of characters. I love spins on characters. Mm-hmm. You know, like Gods and Monsters. I loved that. You know, that wasn't my Batman, my Superman, my Wonder Woman, but it worked. This, you're telling me he's Lex Luthor. And I know you're saying Lex Luthor Jr. So now if the Lex Luthor pictures on the wall look like the Lex Luthor that I know, and we're just getting a junior, then I'll probably be more accepting of it. But for me, for now, for the way I want a Lex Luthor, I'm just worried he's going to ruin this movie. Not ruin the movie completely, but just when he's on screen, it's going to diminish. Like,
I don't disagree with you. Okay, it's very possible.
So in the 30-second thing, there was no dialogue, but through Cavill's face and Affleck's face, you could there was so much tension, right? They're acting. They're like acting where he's almost being a caricature.
That's exactly the word I was going to use.
Yeah, right?
But you also have to think
he's being a caricature. He's not acting against that caliber of actor. And that's what I think is going to pull people out of the movie.
But again, we haven't seen him being Lex Luthor yet.
And we've seen 2 shots. We're talking less than 1 minute of footage. I can't really say how much I hate or love his portrayal from that much time, but I'm just saying from I saw, I'm scared.
I think it's another thing where we're going to have to see the movie to give a final judgment.
Oh, for sure. I reserve judgment to see the movie, but I'm just saying.
I think this almost furthers my point when you say he's like a caricature, because so is Clark Kent. He's a caricature.
Yeah.
Woo! You know?
Yeah, no, he is, but like even in those scenes where Henry Cavill's talking about, asking Bruce Wayne about the bat and stuff like that, he was being the journalist and he was still acting. He wasn't being a character. He still wasn't being a caricature. He was an actor acting a role. Whereas Jesse Eisenberg doesn't seem like an actor acting a role. He seems like an actor
phoning it in,
doing a character. You know what I mean? Like trying to do a character and doing it poorly. And anyone who's watched this show knows from that first Batman vs Superman trailer that I didn't love, one of my biggest concerns in this movie has been him. And this is the first time we finally see him. Every time I've been like, I'm nervous about this.
One more point then.
Okay.
So this movie, how was it received by the studio?
Well, they gave it a standing ovation.
Okay. Now, again, they made the movie, so
right.
But at the same time, if he was so bad, go back, watch the director showing of Phantom Menace. George Lucas, the whole time he's watching.
Oh, he still says those movies are great. George Lucas loves those movies. Yes, he does.
Watch him watch the Phantom Menace for the first time. The whole time, the look on his face is like, this movie sucks.
See, he's defended the prequels. I can't even go on that one because he's defended the prequels just recently in a bunch of interviews. But for this one, for me, it can't even be. If Zack Snyder asked him to give that portrayal, and that's the portrayal he gave, then yes, it's Zack Snyder's fault that he is giving us that character. If Zack Snyder tried to get other things out of him, and we won't know this for a long time to come, but if Zack Snyder was trying to get a different portrayal and just kept getting that shtick, then at one point, how many takes can you do and he's not doing it right?
Right.
But I mean, Jesse Eisenberg is a good actor. You know what I mean? So you think he should have been able to give... I think
he's all right, honestly.
But I mean, he should have been able to give, if they wanted a more stoic, strong presence portrayal of Lex Luthor, he should have been able to give that.
I think, again...
Well, I don't want to beat a dead horse on this part. But
right, yeah.
So the Batman vs. trailer, I mean, it's not like I'm not going to see the movie because I didn't love the trailer. I just thought it gave away too much. I thought, they showed... A lot of people are getting mad that they showed them being friends at the end. Didn't you know that was going to happen? Yes, the movie's called Batman vs. Superman, but it's also called Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice.
Well, and technically they're not friends.
Well, and we knew Justice League was coming, but like that line at the end, I thought she was with you. I thought they're not fighting anymore. You know what I mean?
While they kill this monster.
Right, and people got all mad like, oh, now they're going to get along. Well, everyone knew at some point they were going to get along. So whatever. The trailer's out there. Watch it. The movie will be fine. I overreact on this thing, but it's DC, and it means a lot to me. I love Marvel, but they're going strong. DC, they can't fuck this up. I mean, let's be real. They can't fucking drop the ball on this one. So, DC, don't fucking drop the ball. Real quick, last 2 things. Evil Dead, Ash vs. the Evil Dead, episode 6 aired tonight. Wow. That was quite an episode. There was a lot of things that happened in that episode. It was great. I mean, this show continues to impress. 6 episodes in, 4 episodes to go. The gore in this one, it was a really tame episode. I was actually like, I'm not gonna say bored at points in the beginning, but I was like, man, this is kind of slow for an Ash versus the Evil Dead episode. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, those last 7-8 minutes, shit went crazy. And then I was like, had to catch my breath. The episode was done. I was like, I totally forgot about the beginning part being like semi slow. Like, I was actually glad. I was like, they built me up and then punched me in the balls, and it felt good. I mean, I like a little S&M. So it was wild. It was a great episode. If you're not watching Ash vs. the Evil Dead, you should. Next week's looks out of control too. So, and we got tables, ladders, and chairs next week. So we got a little preview of that coming up here in the WWE Minute right before we get out of here. But right after Ash, we watched Rebels. Like we said, got renewed for a 3rd season. We watched episode 10 of season 2 tonight. Really strong episode. The last 2 episodes coming off the individual story episodes that ran about 3 or 4 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
Now we're getting back to the meat of the story. We finally got the battle versus Ahsoka Tano versus the seventh sister and the fifth brother. And man, it did not disappoint. She toyed with them. People were saying she wasn't like dominating the way she should, but she was trying to give them time to let the ship take off.
Right.
And she was toying with them at one point. She's like, you're beaten. She could have killed the seventh sister easily if she wanted to. But that was the warm up. That's the prelims. Because the main event's coming, people. Vader versus Ahsoka Tano is going to happen in season 2. And I have a feeling Ahsoka Tano does not walk away from that. Like, Master versus Padawan, it's going to be crazy. But this episode was great. We got some good Kanan stuff. We got some good Ezra stuff. The Force Children, like stealing the Force Children and them tying that back to the Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith. And Ahsoka being like, yeah, a Sith Lord did that back during the Clone Wars. I love the little tie-ins, the little nods back to what's come prior. So Rebels is going strong. Ash vs. Evil Dead. Watch most of these shows, people, please. I mean, all the other shows that we don't watch are great, and we will watch them at some point. I mean, I know I got like 6 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sitting on the DVR, but these 2 shows are a cut above the rest. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
And they go really fast.
They do go really fast. They're both half-hour shows, so it's like that. Like your Flashes, your Arrows, your Supergirls, your Shields. These are all hour-long shows.
Well, even Jessica Jones, I like it a lot, but it's one of those things where I invest.
Have you finished Jessica Jones? Me neither. Let's try to finish it so we can do it next week.
The biggest reason I haven't finished it is I've been playing Fallout, and I like the show so much I don't want it playing in the background while I'm playing Fallout.
Well, in Call of Duty 3, Battlefront, Batman Arkham Knight, and
it couldn't have dropped at a worse time. Honestly.
It couldn't have. I mean, I'm surprised I even got 10 episodes. I got like 3 to go, so I'm not that worried. Last but not least, we missed you last week because you really didn't have much to do last week. WWE Minute, you're back again. Real quick, there's not a lot going on. I mean, I'm really like bored lately watching wrestling, and I'm saddens me to say that. But we got Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view coming up next weekend. We got Roman Reigns versus Sheamus for the WWE Championship. That should be good. It's going to end controversial because Roman Reigns is going to have to win the Royal Rumble, I feel, next month. I'll get into that next week. Ambrose versus Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental Championship. That I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
The tag team match should be great. It's going to be a TLC match. The women's match should be good. I mean, there's a lot of good matches. They really got to do good. Survivor Series was probably the worst pay-per-view of the year after Rollins got hurt.
Yeah, that uncontrollable.
It was a really bad pay-per-view. Like, they were scrambling for stuff. And now we're getting back on track with some of the stories I think they wanted to tell prior to the injury. So, fingers crossed. Hopefully, Raw's a little bit better this week than last week, and I can give you more. Obviously, we'll have much more wrestling when we do the recap next week for the pay-per-view. But that's it. That's all we got. So, that's your recap of Everything Nerd. Hope you enjoyed it. From all of us here in the basement, like the video, subscribe, share, man. It takes a second. Just, tell your friends about it. Tell them to tell their friends about it. We could use a little help. I mean, you know what I'm saying. But like I said, for all of us here in the basement, Thor, Brian, deuces. We'll see you next week.
The Vikings lost. They suck really bad.
If you like what you just saw, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and like our Facebook page.